10 volcanic eruptions that changed the course of history. Speaking of volcanoes, have you ever wondered what role their eruptions played in the development of history? What would have been the fate of Minoan Crete if the eruption of the Santorini volcano had not taken place? And how would oil have been created if there had not been a whole series of undersea volcanic eruptions 93 million years ago? So here we list the 10 most important, based mainly on the way they affected our evolution, volcanic eruptions that is, the death of the sea that gave birth to oil. According to American and Chinese geologists, the first major volcanic eruption occurred 260 million years ago in southeastern China in Meishan province. This gigantic eruption scattered 500,000 cubic kilometers of lava and thus wiped out any kind of marine life on the planet. The second equally important and gigantic eruption took place 93 million years ago and essentially constituted a whole series of underwater volcanic eruptions. Similar to the first, it caused the elimination of all marine life while depriving the ocean of oxygen. However, the eruptions that destroyed the organic material of the microorganisms, combined with the loss of oxygen, led to the creation of oil. The largest eruption of the last 2 million years is the eruption of the Toba volcano in Sumatra, Indonesia, 74,000 years ago, which released 2,500 cubic kilometers of magma. Many consider the ensuing volcanic winter to be the origin of the human race, having decimated the humanoid populations, isolating them and favoring their independent evolution. However, new findings from analysis of magma challenge this view. The remodeling of the Santorini eruption and the end of the Minoan Crete, the eruption of Thera volcano in Santorini, is estimated to have occurred around 1500 BC, around the time of the Exodus. And this is considered one of the most powerful eruptions in historical times, since the cloud produced was 30 kilometers high, and the tsunami that following the explosion caused waves of 35 to 250 meters. That's over 600 feet high. Indeed, the climate effects of the explosion seem to have reached China, older than the last 2 million years, while its consequences on the civilization of the time were complex and complete, since it essentially marked the beginning of the end for Minoan Crete. Then we have Etna and the Vesuvius eruption. Italy's famous volcanoes have largely defined its history, with Etna remaining one of the most active volcanoes on Earth, and its first eruption estimated at 500,000 years ago. The eruptions of both volcanoes have been recorded by historians of the time, and with the most important being that of Pliny the Younger for the eruption of Vesuvius on August 24th, 79 AD, which had the known catastrophic consequences for Pompeii. An explosion perhaps the most important for historical study, since it froze everyday life of the ancient Romans and gave it to scholars as is. Modern eruptions, Iceland's Laki volcano. For 8 whole months, the Laki volcano in Iceland was active in 1784. The resulting cloud covered North Europe and part of North America, while the ash that reached the stratosphere led to change in climatic conditions, as Benjamin Franklin observed at the time as America's first diplomatic representative in Paris. Tambora and Krakatau volcanoes of Indonesia. Similar were the results of the activation of the Tambora volcano in Indonesia in 1816, with a cloud obscuring the sun and leading to a drop in temperature for the next 4 years. So in 1816 was called the Year Without a Summer, which was an inspiration for Lord Byron, who wrote the novella The Darkness. The artistic creation was influenced by the eruption of the Krakatau volcano, again in Indonesia in 1883. The red reflections created on the European horizon which was due to the enrichment of the atmosphere with sulfurous compounds that lasted from November 1883 to February 1884, were captured in many paintings of the time, while for the first time the explosion was captured on film. Pinatubo volcano in Philippines. The largest volcanic eruption of the 20th century was located in 1991 in the Philippines and came from Pinatubo volcano. The height of the ash that was ejected was about 7 kilometers, while the decrease in the temperature of the planet that was caused corresponded to half a degree Celsius. Volcanoes in numbers. 1. The Earth hosts about 1,500 potentially active volcanoes. 2. For 550 of them, there are recorded explosions. 3. More than 100 active volcanoes are located in the European area. 4. In Greece and Italy, they have records of 140 eruptions from the 16th century to the present day. 5. Indonesia holds the sad distinction of first in deadliest volcanic eruptions. 6. First in number of deaths is the eruption of Tambora, Indonesia, in 1815. The pestilence cost the lives of more than 92,000 people. 7. Second in number of deaths is the eruption of Krakatau, Indonesia, in 1883. It cost the lives of more than 36,000 people. And this I've translated from a Greek article. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support. Kindly support my Patreon account. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.